I was just curious, but this will be a big start for him because they hit lefties well, and I think we got 2 more series with them after this, so so they'll get another look at him. So they'll probably ride Johnson for as long as they can, but it just wouldn't surprise 100%. Me. And he's the type of guy where I don't know if he can right the ship after a couple bad starts either, so there's just so many unknowns with him, so you just kind of have to take it start by start, I guess. Let's see, what else do we have? Joe Kelly, let's get to the bullpen, actually. Joe Kelly has had a couple of pretty encouraging outings, I would say, the last 2 or 3 anyway, so do you guys think he kind of works his way back into that 8th inning, or do you think he's just going to be more situational from here out? Because Thornburg and Brazier have been pretty stout.
They basically locked that job down, in my opinion. I mean, Thornburg's looked phenomenal ever since he got back. Brazier, I mean, like I've said previously, I mean, Brazier is everything that we could ask for. It's like an acquisition from the trade deadline. A lot like Thornburg, we get this guy up here, and he's just been locked down every time that he comes in the game. So I don't think Kelly's getting that job back.
I think that Thornburg took over the 8th inning job because of this is who he is when he's healthy, and he is healthy, and he's just starting to get warmed back up. So I think Thornburg's going to be an 8th inning guy. I think Kelly's a 7th inning guy mixed in with Brazier, just because, a little bit of an unknown with him. We'll see how he does against the Yankees, against Cleveland, against Houston. If he pitches well against them, then, you have a great problem, right? If Kelly's figured it out again and Brazier is just like lights out, then it's like, okay, well, and then it becomes kind of situational when it's just like, all right, well, game 1, we're going to put in Kelly. Game 2, we're going to put in, Ryan. And then you kind of just go back and forth. And I don't know if Kelly's gotten kicked out of that spot and he becomes like the 6th inning mop up guy or situational one. Thornburg gets in some trouble, allows a hit and a walk, and then you bring in Kelly for one batter. I don't know if he's got demoted, in quotes, that much, but I think Thornburg jumped into the 8th, and I think Kelly and Brazier will battle out for the 7th, and it's a good thing to have. I think Kelly does well with that, and it just goes to show how deep our bullpen actually is, and everybody on Twitter needs to relax. Also goes with that.
That's an excellent point, because I wasn't harping on more relief help. I did kind of want Brad Ziegler, just because I love Brad Ziegler, but
which would have been fine, because an extra arm is always good. I'll never say we don't need an extra arm.
Yeah.
But there are, so many different... I mean, you have this guy, randomly, Brazier, who's popped up. Now he's our 7th inning guy, people are saying, and we're saying. And you have guys down in Pawtucket and guys down in Double-A and Single-A that can be called up as well that are doing very well. I talk about Feltman all the time. I think that he can get called up. I think he should at some point, especially if he continues to do what he does. You have another guy, Lakins, who was promoted to Pawtucket after the trades for Evaldi and stuff, and he was just converted from a starter to a bullpen guy. Since going to the bullpen full-time, in 21 innings, he has 22 strikeouts. Opponents are batting 100 against him. Nice. 49% ground ball rate. This guy's going to probably get... This guy's in Pawtucket now. You're going to see this guy if he continues this trend. Once the 40-man roster comes up in September, the call-ups. I mean, all of a sudden, you're having 4 guys come up out of nowhere to be in for bullpen help. There's no help in the minors for second base or battle at the bench. That's what we needed. That's what we started to get. So I don't know why everyone's freaking out so much. And all of a sudden, and even tonight, the past 2 days, the bullpen's been phenomenal.
Exactly.
The Phillies, even Velasquez tonight, who may have been hurt, may have tripped a little bit in the mound, whatever, but he let up 1 run. He just pitched yesterday, not even 24 hours before that. So bullpen's been great, and the starting pitching's been great as well. So people need to relax.
And with Thornburg, the only question mark really with him is what kind of a workload can he take on, because you don't want a Carson Smith situation to happen, however that happened, whether it was the spike of the glove or whether he was overworked or maybe there was a combination of them in there. You just want to, if he needs to be eased in, I think they should continue to do that. And you have Brazier, who, like you said, kind of came out of nowhere. And he could pitch an 8th inning. Matt Barnes kind of scuffled a little tonight, but still always finds his way out of the inning. And I'm not going to harp on him too much. One guy I have noticed who's been like an unsung hero lately is Heath Hembree. Just very reliable, gets through the innings, and just does his job and pitched very well. So you got all those guys pitching well, and if you can get Kelly in there, whether it's a 6th or 7th inning on a given game, there's nothing. Nobody should have any complaints about this bullpen, like you were saying.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild, and it just blows my mind that people are freaking out and just making it seem like we're not the best team in the league by like leaps and bounds too. Like obviously every team can improve, but like we're on pace to win 110 games. We're not the A's right now. We're not the Mariners. We're not the Pirates.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of depth in the pen there, and you mentioned Lakins, and that's interesting because I've seen his name, and the beat writers were kind of posting some of his stats as early as last year when he was a starter, and he gets promoted today, like you said, and is it Trey Buttrey or whatever? He has a funky name. He was in the Kinsler deal. Yeah, and so he's going to go to L.A., but he was a reliever in Pawtucket with a sub-3 ERA, and so you might lose a little bit of minor league depth there, but like you said, you have Lakins. Durbin Feltman, who knows where his ceiling is going to be this year, whether he reaches the majors or not, or just, kind of settles for AA, AAA, whatever.
Dave's pumped. Yeah. Dave's all sorts of excited about Feltman.
Yeah.
I think this kid's legit. I think he's going to be like Finnegan from the Royals in 2014. He's just not going to be phased when he comes up here, and he's going to be put in situations to succeed because of Cora. And you want to talk about a guy that can help with a Thornburg thing, like you're just saying, Terry. I don't think I don't think Cora's going to mismanage him at all. But if he needs a break, guys like Brazier and Feltman can come up and do that, and it's going to be fun to watch him. I'm really high on him. I think it's somebody to watch out for. And for anybody sitting at home saying we needed a Ziegler, I mean, I would have liked Ziegler too for a bag of balls. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
But for anybody that says I need a Ziegler, I need this random guy I've never heard of that is on the bench in Texas or something, this is our guy. Just wait for it, because the help's coming. It just technicalities. We got to wait for rosters. Got to wait for September. Got to wait for maybe some phantom injuries. But the cavalry's coming. It's going to be okay. Everyone take a deep breath in Red Sox Nation today and relax about our bullpen that has been good this year, if not great already.
Absolutely. Let's before we get into the trades, Chris Sale DL today. The only thing that kind of alarms me a little bit is that it is kind of timed with his decline that he typically has. So hopefully it's all that they say it is, and he says he's adamant that he's only going to miss one start. So hopefully that's all it is, because nobody saw that coming. And has he ever been on the DL besides when he broke his foot in spring training or whatever?
He was suspended one time
cutting up the jersey
with the White Sox. I don't know if he's been on the DL for anything serious other than the broken foot thing. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say glass half full and read between the lines and say we've been talking about a couple skip starts for a while. We've been talking about rest, and maybe his arm was just a little sore, and Cora just said, you know what, safe than sorry. We got a lead in the division. You're pitching really well. We need you for October. We're going to be there one way or another. Take a start or two off. Come back fresh. And I'm just hoping it's that. Really cross my fingers. Really just going to say a nice prayer tonight, because I'm hoping it's just that. Because if he went out for the year or for a long period of time, it'd be catastrophic to this team.
Absolutely. And, I mean, Devers is out. We're hoping Bogarts isn't out. I mean, like you said, I thought Bogarts was done, and I almost I had the tweet ready. I just didn't hit enter. I said, hopefully Chris Sale saved Bogarts a spot, on the DL, and then I just couldn't do it. I'm like, I've caused so much hate and discontent today. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay off that
I love
one.
the hate and disconnect. I was just going through some of your tweets today, and the people just arguing your mentions. I even jumped in at one point and just told some people to relax.
Oh, did you?
I got in there and just talked about Kinsler and talked about Nunez and just told everybody what they needed to hear, I think.
Truth be told, sometimes I don't even really look at my mentions, so
there's really no point sometimes.
So much negativity.
You almost might not want to do that. And I mean, I don't have the Twitter followers you have. I hit 100 for the first time, so thanks for that. Appreciate it. It happened like last night, so I didn't get a tweet out yet, but thank you. So maybe Terry can throw me a tweet every once in a while to follow me.
Yeah, absolutely. Just tell me, I'll do it. I'll do it every day if you want.
But I don't have the hate that you have in your mention, so I can only imagine the 20,000 followers you have, whatever it is.
Yeah, some people.
It always starts with one person, and then it explodes down. It's usually the most incredible thing.
Like people out there that don't think that we see the same repeat offenders all the time. Like, we see you. I know who you are. I know every single time something happens, I'm going to see a tweet, either in my mentions or Terry's saying, "Told you so, told you so," or "This guy sucks, told you so," every single time. We see you. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. My best friend's mother used to run a daycare, and if we were going to go somewhere and hang out, usually we'd take my truck and I'd show up, and she'd always get so flustered because she knew I was going to come in there, get all the kids riled up, and then be gone, a minute and a half later and not have to deal with any of it. But she would, because she's stuck with them, and that's kind of what it is. I just throw something out there, especially if it's a David Price thing, or not so much lately because Pedroia hasn't been around, but he's one of my favorite targets, and Farrell previously was, and so a lot of those I'm not even gonna look at. I'm not gonna bother because they're always gonna be there, and I really make it a point to not block anybody if I can, because I just don't want to be that guy. And if any one person trolls me too hard, I'll just tell them. I'll be like, "Look, dude, there's." If you keep this up, I will have to throw the block on you, and I don't want to be that guy, but I just tell them there's no value to me in keeping you around. What's in it for me? And then they're like, they really do chill out, and they're like, all right. And the few people I have blocked, they'll go to Dave Little or some of my other bloggers, and they'll beg them for me to unblock them. And I'm like, yeah. So it's just, that's how it is. You're gonna have haters,
I love the haters. There's just a difference between being a flat out dick and just having a conversation or not. So right. I'm with you on that 100%. I wouldn't block anybody unless it was something just ridiculous, and it's just you're not even having a conversation anymore. You're just if you're I hate your eyebrows. All right, man, I don't know what that has to do with baseball.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good story. Let me know when you want to talk sports.
One guy said on my. I jokingly, if you guys probably knew I was joking, but I said I might rename this podcast the David Price Opt-Out Podcast. And this one guy goes, you didn't see that, Austin? No. That's what I wouldn't name it that. I mean, it doesn't flow good and whatever. But one guy told me, he goes, you just hate him because he's black. And I just wanted to respond to that. God. I had so many responses that I could have done. I thought about saying you only said that because you're a Nazi or whatever. Something to get him uncomfortable and on the defensive. But then I was like, no, I'm not even going to mess with him.
There's no point. That's the thing. When someone like that, it's not even worth it because they're not even trying to talk or anything. They're just trying to get a rise out of you at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Another funny thing, this is way off topic. When I was a corrections officer, the inmates would be out with me, and any one of them could grab me at any time, and sometimes they'd make a snide remark, and I could lock them down, for 48 hours, but that's that's not the best way to do it. Yeah, I can keep him in there for 48 hours, and it's going to suck to be him, but everybody's watching this situation go down, so there's a pride thing. So the best thing to do was always to punk him out or whatever, And sometimes you'd be kind of face to face. It'd be like a screaming match. It'd be like Joe Girardi going off on an umpire type thing, you know. That's the type of thing. And sometimes it might get to the point where you had no choice to lock him down. But one of my biggest regrets about that job is I didn't use the